Let's continue from where I left off. So, so we know the being who is almighty and all powerful uh, has now was bored previously. So he tried to create beings like himself, as he find out that it's a waste of time. So he tried to create something like it, like you can say AI robot of in our time. If the video exists, you might be listening in, I don't know, 100 to 1000 years later. If human exists, that is. Uh, uh, then he thought maybe create them and see what does they do. So he created six beings. So six beings who could create stuff. So these six beings, you can call them in our modern concept demigods, or had the power to act like gods. So these six gods, the main being, the almighty and powerful being, created these six demi stuff because he was bored and he wanted to see, okay, give them the task like go create stuff. So as you know, if you're using AI, you do give them the command to do stuff. So he thought, yeah, just do it. Uh, let's see what they does. So they started creating stuff, and the number was six because there are a lot of things to it. Like if we first he create one, then he would think that he is God. Then he created two, but he thought maybe they would fight each other. Then he created three. Then he thought maybe those two would go up again with one another. Four, and on the six is the great number. So in the sixth number, there's no way you can. He thought, okay, they shouldn't fight at the number six. So again, he was like, okay, I have now see. So he became like watcher, as you see movies or TV shows in Netflix. He started seeing the demi stuff or demi beings creating uh, stuff. So what did they create? So what was their name? So in when they were created, counting began at that point in creation. So you have time, space, now creation and counting. So each of them was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it, because there was nothing else. You can change it in different languages if you want, but that was basically their name. So what did it and what did they create? So they created galaxies, planets, and they created seas, and they created like planets full of water, planets full of seeds, planets, um, something big planets, sometimes less planets. So as they were starting to increase their creation, they divided themselves into six places throughout the creation. So in the space that the Most High being created, they divide the place into six spaces so they could create. But as they were creating, they started to have egos. So what do you mean egos? Basically, they started to compete with each other. The very thing that God said not to do, the high being said not to do. They, he is not claiming himself God yet. So the high being told them not to do quarrel with each other, competition with each other, because you are all my creation. But they started the high being started doing competition. So at one point, the first created a sky, bigger space. The second created even bigger space. The third created bigger space, fourth bigger six, and the sixth created the biggest sky in the biggest space. The space or sky, or you can call it any dimensional stuff, but the biggest one. And the sixth was like nobody could create a sky as big as I am. And the first one created the sky, so the first one saying you guys don't have any idea whatever I created this in the first place. And the second third was also like we did better than you, so shut up. And it's went on and went on when they started creating galaxies and planets. So they create galaxy and they're like, "Boo, dude, we create galaxy more bigger than you." The six like nobody has created bigger planets than I am. So they were started curling as their creation, the planets, skies, and universe. They had thoughts. So what thoughts were there? So the thoughts was that they were had thoughts. They didn't have any power. So they were like unmovable object or movable object depending on it, but they didn't have like a specific power. So they thought that okay, God created us, but what is our mission? There was no mission involved. So like okay, what do we do now? And they are having a question. So the six demi stuff or demi beings creation started questioning themselves like what was our purpose of creation? Why were we created and why our gods were fighting? Like the being that created us, the demi steps, why are they fighting? And as the watcher, the main being is was like, yes, that's an excellent question. Like, what is your purpose and why are they fighting? That's when the word purpose, like you have to achieve something or you have to have a goal, came into the creation by the planets themselves who have started planets and galaxies started to think and thought about the question. So okay, so they started to thinking, they started asking them, and gods didn't, the demi gods or you call it, they didn't care. They was like, no, we are in war, we don't have time to take care of you. And as a question of the war between the demigods, the uh, the not mortal, the planets and galaxies were suffering. Like they did not know what to do. They did not know what is happening, what is going on. Why is everything? Don't we have any purpose? Why are you guys fighting? And so on and so on. But these demi beings didn't know that they were using the power of the Most High. So what they were doing was just borrowing the power of Most High and thinking that they had power. Basically, they didn't have any power. They were just borrowing power. So what is borrowing power is like you don't have power, but you're borrowing power. But at some point, your ego is like, if I can borrow power, then this is my power. But that was not their power. So they started calling themselves gods, like really, really gods. And again, they were like, I am the best god. I am the best god. And the world happened as creation was taking place, God the Most High Being didn't take any action till then, but at some point it was still boring. Like they were fighting, and the planets and their creation was wondering why are we created. So to give that answer, uh, the Most High Being was like, okay, I'm bored. How about this? Let me create my own body, an own body that could teach these fake bodies, fake demigods, what is a god is. So then he created his body. So he created his body as powerful as the beings, the demigods can see. So like his body was most powerful than, most stronger than in shape and form, and he already has power. So they were basically using his power. And then he came to them. So when he came to them, uh, okay, let's stop it for now here. I will continue it in the future, but that's for it now.